All right, hey, thank you everybody. Welcome to Ties vs. Dies. Diehards, welcome back. New viewers, new audience, newcomers in general, welcome to the show. Today's episode, we will be walking you through an imagination creation special where we will be taking permanent transfer vinyl for decals, typically cut on the Cricut, sometimes by hand. That's I'll leave that up to you. But we will be taking that vinyl, dropping it onto a shirt, and showing you how to use that to drop a logo or a design from your imagination, or from just anywhere in general, any design. We are going to show you how to drop it from your mind to the canvas and have it come out looking very professional and very well put together, and very much so the way you want it to look. And so join us, stay tuned, and let's dive right on in. Let's dive, no pun intended, right on into this show, and we hope you enjoy it. There's a lot to learn here, so stay tuned and let's see what we can see. So, some important things to take note on. You will be needing permanent transfer decal vinyl. Any color's fine, preferably the smart decal vinyl. We used a Cricut Explorer 2 to cut this image, the Ties vs. Dies Tie-Dye the World logo, and I recommend you doing the same. If you do not have a Cricut, no worries. You can just do it by hand, print it out, and then go ahead and cut that printing, and then match it up on your vinyl, tape it down, draw it out, and then cut it. I know it's a lot of steps to the process, but it's definitely worth it to get a really clean and really precise and really detailed image the way that I have here. And it is definitely worth the time, worth the hassle. Another thing that you're going to need is transfer tape for the vinyl, of course, as well as a paintbrush and a vinyl roller. Those are going to be the items that you're going to need that are a little bit outside the realm of what we typically do, but very much worth having. You will be very happy with the results, guaranteed. And follow this process along as you see here, and you will be able to create not only what most people are not able to, but you'll be able to create logos, designs, templates, anything that you want to transfer from a clean and precise image or logo design into a tie-dye shirt that looks natural and looks authentic and looks very fly and very fresh as far as I'm concerned. Let me know in the comments what you think about the finished results of this. Stay tuned until the end to check that out, because this was a very successful tie-dye project. This is a concept that I have been working with for some time, and I was finally confident enough in it, and I was happy enough with the finished results of the last couple attempts that I made. And so I wanted to bring you the step-by-step process, and that is what you see here, and that is how we are going to be dropping some logos. Keynotes to implement and keynotes to take note on, of course, is the fact of the lettering. The lettering is going to drop perfect. We got those highs and lows, the different styles of font there, just so you can see the different range of what you can achieve with this technique and this style. I've not seen too many people doing it like this, so I hope that it's fun and it's fresh and it's effective yet simple yet very legitimate process, and a very legitimate, easy to follow, step-by-step way to achieve this this finish and this concept. And I know that you can do it. So if you have an idea in your mind that you would like to have be a badass tie-dye shirt, this is the realm and the route that you can take. This is, I want to say, in the realm of what art is. There's no right or wrong way to do these things. Nothing's set in stone. Nothing is beyond the realms. If you could dream it, you can make it, and if you can make it, you can dye it. And so let's do it. And so this is what we have here. And this is also another realm of cause and effect, I would say, to where you have to put in the hours. Well, technically I put in the hours, so you don't have to. I did the hard part, so that way you can do the easy part, and that's how I would prefer it, honestly, so don't worry. And if you have any other ideas out there, if you have any concepts or things that you would like to see dropped onto a tie-dye canvas, feel free to hit me up. And we are going to be finishing out this shirt with a hourglass spine variation, as well as a sleeve, a full sleeve fan fold that matches that spine and the rest of the shirt, of course. And you will see how we achieve this, and you will be able to do the same. And so yes, if you have any ideas, please feel free to drop them in the comments, and I would be happy to do my best to bring that to life. And I have a couple other different methods. There's a couple different ways you can do this, but this is definitely a way that's doable. It's something that you can do right off the jump, from being a beginner to achieving a really high-end finish and a really high quality. I don't know if maybe you are doing this for a company or doing it for someone, but this particular technique is a very useful and very practical styling technique to upgrade your wardrobe. Not only that, but to implement for if you have a t-shirt company. So yes, check it out, take your time with it, be patient, and know that anything is possible. And so never say never, and never put boundaries or borders on yourself, and because that only ends up confining you to a way of thinking. And what we need and what the world needs is new, clever, and intricate and artistic and just, you know, out of the box thinking. We need out of the box thinking. And so that is what we're trying to achieve here, as well as help you to achieve any ideas or concepts that are in your imagination or your mind's eye onto a canvas. And so yes, feel free to hit us up, let us know what you need help with, and we'll be happy to help you. And so as you can see, we are finishing up that binding of the sleeve as well as that spine. To where key points of that spine design, really be sure to utilize those washable markers, how I did so in the video. Go ahead and label that off, because that is going to be your intersecting space of your start and stop point for your hourglass and the rest of the body of the shirt coming up to your sleeves. And what you're going to want to focus on once you get into the dye application, as we're going to be doing here in just a moment, you're going to be wanting to focus on your patterns, your layering, your dye absorption, your saturation, and you should have been focusing on binding strength and binding precision. And with those elements, you can achieve pretty much anything that you want to. And so that is another concept that I wanted to take us down the road of, the concept of recipes and of processes, and how they are a repeatable and tangible and knowable thing. And I believe that that is the truth behind the tie-dye process, and that is the beauty of this process, that it is 100% repeatable, it is 100% achievable, and it follows the keep it simple method. And so that's the beauty of it ultimately. But yes, this is a repeatable process, to where once we get to the end of the video, yeah, you're gonna really trip out. You're gonna enjoy it, I hope, and let me know what you think about that. But yes, it's a repeatable process. It is a recipe. This is a tie-dye recipe, and what I mean by that is, when you have a recipe, when you're typically baking or cooking, if you follow that recipe pound for pound and step by step exactly how you're supposed to, you know, don't variate on the ingredients, don't mix or match any ingredients, and you will get a repeatable process. It'll be the same dish over and over again. And so that is what we have here. We have a repeatable recipe where if you follow it, it is something that you can get over and over again. And once you get that dialed in, once you get the baseline dialed in, then you can start to implement changes. You can start to implement those variations and those different styles and those different mixing and matching of different options. And so that's really how the tie-dye game and the tie-dye canvas is dialed in on, as far as I'm concerned. You know, you want to just start simple, and then you start to implement a little bit of changes. You know, instead of doing X and Y, do Y and X, or instead of, you know, leading at one end, lead at the other end, and try to take note and really, like, literally take note on it, so that way you could know the different variations until you can have them just mastered and have them in your mind That way you can just access them as you need them, and then before you know it, you'll have an arsenal that you can implement and that you can have at your disposal at any time, at your fingertips. And so that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of practice. That's the beauty of cause and effect. And that is the beauty of going ahead and just putting in the time, putting in the hours to create and to manifest what it is that you want and what it is you want to be. And so that is the trick here. And of course, if there's anything that I'm not being clear on, feel free to drop it in the comments, and I will be sure to elaborate on it, and I will be sure to try to dive in it a little bit deeper and try to explain it as best as possible. I know sometimes that I kind of go over these things kind of quick, and so if there is anything that you are still not 100% clear on, feel free to hit me up about it, and I will start a conversation with you. And so yes, it'll be good. And so yes, that is what I would recommend going forward for you all. That is what I would recommend for anybody going forward. Try to just get your basics dialed in, your fundamentals dialed in, and then from there implement small variations, small changes to the recipe. Write them down or take mental note if you could take good mental note, but I would recommend taking actual notes, and that will allow you to develop your style, and that will allow you to develop what you think is beautiful and what you think is best suited for the shirts that you're trying to create, or the canvases, or any materials that you're trying to create, the art projects you're trying to create, because this is an art form. You know, it's as far as I'm concerned, it's one of the most beautiful art forms out there, and it's because of that cause and effect and that recipe following that I'm able to even do this art form, because that's the way I've always had a very technical mind. So if you think the same way, if you think in a very technical what's a good word for that, if you think in a very technical and needing to see something be done way, then this is the art form for you. Practice makes perfect. That's the way that it goes. So yes, keep up with it, and don't ever let anyone tell you you can't do something. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good message for right now. Don't ever let anyone tell you that you cannot achieve something, whether it be tie-dye or anything at all. The world is simply a construct of our mind. What we believe in our mind, we can turn into reality. It has to be in our mind first, and then it will follow into reality. We literally create and construct the world around us with our mind. We are very powerful beings. You are a very powerful being, and so you can achieve anything and everything you put your mind to, and your only limitations and your only boundaries and borders are what you set. So if you keep your mind open, and if you keep the word impossible, and if you keep never out of your vocabulary and out of your head, then it will not impede you, and it will not have any holding on you, because you are. Let's take a look at that finished result. Here we have the hourglass spine. That hourglass spine variation came out looking pretty dope. Let me know what you guys think about it. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to leave them in the comments, and I will do my best to answer them as soon as possible. But yes, that is that hourglass. Look at those colors, that fuchsia pink, those emerald greens, that aquamarine. They all pop very nicely. The way we finished this up was with a 18-hour heat set in a Ziploc bag. And so that is how you achieve those bold and bright and very robust and gorgeous color finishes. So keep that in mind. And so, yes, we are getting into the end of this. This is the front piece of the shirt. Notice the logo right there. Notice how that logo stayed throughout the dye process. That is because we heat set that. It's going to be the end of the show. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. We appreciate you staying with us. We appreciate you watching the video. If you learned anything, please feel free to like and subscribe. We definitely appreciate it. The channel appreciates it. And to all the diehards, thank you for your time. To all the newcomers, thank you for your time. And to everybody else out there, thank you. Get out there, try to tie-dye the world, and we will see you in the next show. So take care of yourselves. All right, we love you. Bye.